Hi there, I'm Ulf at HoboRec, and today I'm here with Uri at the Woodoo production studios in the valley.
Yeah, in San Fernando, the city of San Fernando here in
Yeah.
LA. Yeah.
So like North LA.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, so we met at NAMM like 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago.
It's been shifted a bit since it was supposed to be in January, but it got postponed now to June, and we met now again.
Yeah.
And I asked if I could come by, take a look at the studio.
Thank you for coming.
And also you have a company called Aspen Pitman.
Aspen Pitman Designs. Yeah. So the studio was designed and built by Aspen Pitman, the founder of Groove Tubes.
Yeah.
He was my father-in-law. When he passed away, we, my wife and I took over the companies, and I took over the studio. So the studio we call, Aspen Pitman, Aspen Place Recording.
Yeah.
And, I brought my production company here, Woodoo Productions. So here we are at the control room with all the beautiful Groove Tubes.
Yeah,
here.
we have a lot of cool stuff here.
Yeah.
We've been taking a walk around here and looked at the place. It's incredible. Like last time we met at NAMM, you had a product called the Space Station.
Yeah.
I showed it on my YouTube channel, even though it's not really relevant to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But the exciting thing is that now you're coming out with a microphone.
We're coming out with the microphone, so we're still, the Space Station is still in production.
Yeah.
Yes, it's more of a live setup.
It's like a compact stereo PA system, or maybe not.
Yeah, well, it is.
I don't mean to insult you.
No, it's not. No insult. No. But it's good that you understand the concept.
Yeah.
But it's like a 3D immersive listening experience from a single cabinet.
Yeah.
So there's multiple speakers, 4 drivers working at the same time, but one source. So the sound is coming out of a single source, kind of almost like hugging you.
Yeah.
And that's the whole concept.
That's awesome. Talk a little bit about the story behind it. You said it was your wife's father that used to have Groove Tubes.
Yeah. So he was Aspen Pitman was the founder of Groove Tubes. That started as selling tubes. He designed a tube matching technology that there was other ways to match tubes, but never for music gear, and especially guitar amps. So he figured out a way to predict the performance of a tube.
Yeah.
So that way, back in this, early 60s and 70s, when you got a tube amp, we could put 10 brand new, out of the box tube amps, and they all sounded different.
Yeah.
And that was like people say about guitars. Oh, they're all different. Okay. He wasn't happy with them. That's the way they are.
Yeah.
Thing. So he did his own research. He learned about tubes and figured out that it was a way to predict the performance. So he would get tubes from different places, China, Russia, and measure them. And the ones that passed it was a very, very high bar.
Yeah.
So only a few of the bunch that he bought got branded as Groove Tubes.
Yeah, right.
And classified as if they're gonna break early, if they have a good tone, or for jazz, for rock, more sustain, or things like that. So that was the thing. So right now, every tube manufacturer is using that technology. So it's not as relevant. We're used to get the tubes we need, put them in, and work, and there's not much of a difference. But back then it was the difference. So he's the one that kind of leveled the plane, the kind of changed the way the guitar tube amps sounded.
So then he started like implementing this in making his own gear and also amps.
That's correct. So he had amazing guitar amps and preamp for guitar studio. Also 2 mic preamps, like the Vi-Pre, that's variable impedance preamp, that you can actually change the impedance, many different ratings,
Yeah.
not just 2 ratings that some manufacturers do.
Yeah, low and high.
Yeah, exactly. So you can actually match the impedance for vintage ribbon mics to modern microphones that have a much higher impedance.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very convenient.
Yeah, it's very cool also. So tubes, basically, they have a sound.
Yeah.
And he embraced that sound, and this studio has pretty much all the front end of the studio of Pro Tools. It's 32 channels of mic to preamps, compressors, and EQs.
Nice. Yeah, you told me before that. Later on he sold the company to Fender.
Yeah.
And then he started to buy back a lot of his equipment.
Well, so he sold the company to Fender in 2008, and that's when he built the studio. This studio is built on the grants of the Group Tubes factory.
Yeah.
So we're sitting where he was. A lot of this gear was made.
This used to be the factory.
Yeah, this used to be the factory. So, then he decided he wanted to have a recording studio, and he built a lot of the gear and microphones too. He has a lot of microphone designs that are still sought after.
All right.
Okay, so he had some leftover gear that Fender didn't take, but some of other stuff he bought off Craigslist or eBay or whatever, here. And
seems like you found a lot of it.
Yeah, he found this, and the cool thing about that is that if it wasn't working properly, he would fix it and make it sound the way it's supposed to sound. Okay,
that's amazing.
So so that's kind of a funny thing that he did. Yeah.
So it's basically only Groove Tube stuff here. Do you have any other outboard gear?
Outboard gear, yes. I have. So what I have really quick, I have the Vipris. I have about 11 of those. Then I have Supris. It's the same as the Vipri, but it's a stereo. So it's a dual mic pre in a box. It's in one unit. So I have of those. I have 18.
Yeah.
So I use those for my drums because I like to have the drums like with the same kind of preamp. It's like going to the same console, basically. So I have that. And then we have the Glory Comp, that it's a tube compressor. We have the EQ, it's a passive EQ, we can show it later. Also, it's like tube EQ, and it's pretty cool. Once you kind of get used to use it, it's an awesome EQ. I like it on drums. But I have other gear. I sent some stuff to repair for NAMM or the week after NAMM, so I had no sessions. They say, okay, you have 1 week to fix it. So I have a couple of Symmetrics 501s compressors. I love them on snare drums. DBX 160s
Yeah, I saw that now.
for drums too. So that's more of an aggressive style of compression that I use. I like to print the sound that I already kind of commit to a sound. And, I believe that it inspires the band because they hear the close to the finished product. And once you commit, then you have a direction to the project.
True.
Yeah.
Another really interesting thing you told us before is he also invented the cab IR sort of.
Well,
cab simulation.
Yes, it's a speaker emulator.
Speakers.
Yes, speaker emulator. So this is, I don't know, we have the patent, we can go check. I don't remember the year. That's my bad, but I should know. But so he invented this first speaker emulator. Eddie Van Halen was one of the first endorsees of that. They were close friends. He knew a lot of musicians and good friends, and that's how he developed a lot of the gear by listening to, his friends told him about what they wanted on piece of gear, right? So he had the first speaker emulator so you could go from plugging your guitar, go to back then the console, right? And that's what the IR, the impulse response technology is based on.
Yeah.
So he without knowing, made a great contribution to what rock and metal is.
Pretty both like evening out the tube manufacturing and also doing the speakers emulations.
Yeah.
Two kind of big deals.
Yes, big steps on guitar tone.
So let's segue into your coming microphone.
Yeah, I can have it like this.
I can hold it. You can talk about it.
So we're launching this year. We're launching this microphone, the AP1B FET. It's the AP for Aspen Pitman. This is one of his groove tube designs. It's one of the most popular designs on microphones. It's a really good mic for vocals, for acoustic guitars. Has a nice top end. It's like a little, like a tiny lift between 2K and 10K without getting harsh. So you get that high-end lift that you want on modern vocals and guitars. Also have great body and a lot of transient detail. So this is based on the way it is. It's a capsule. The capsule is designed like old vintage capsules, a non-disc, large diaphragm, all brass, with a mylar, with a 32 millimeter mylar, and so basically, it was designed to perform as old vintage microphones.
All right, but it's not a tube mic.
It's not a tube microphone. So the first, when he designed the model 1B, it was a tube microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a really, really good microphone. But then he decided to do a more affordable mic, so he did the 1B FET.
All right.
Okay, the 1B FET was back then was made with the same tooling, same body, everything as the tube microphone. That the tube microphone has the heat dissipation. Like ventilation, so it would preserve the life of the tube. We modified the body, made it solid body, so it improves the acoustics of the microphone. Okay, so this is a really cool microphone. We are thinking about it's going to be around $500, and we're hoping to get it before the end of the year. It comes with
a good price for a high quality microphone.
Yeah, it is. It is good, and that's what we want. I started with my home studio, so I know the pain of of getting good gear, right, at affordable prices. So the microphone comes with a jack mount and a carrying case too, so you can go to any studio with your own microphone. Also, you have a pop filter that it's not brand new. We also modified it. So we made it a larger screen to fit like large diaphragm vintage microphones. Okay,
I can show it.
Yeah. So
it just comes up.
Yeah. The cool thing about these pop filters has magnets, so you can pop it in like that. If you have, you can go to a different studio. Be safe now with pandemic and our life changed. So you can bring your own pop filter, stick it on the other studio's jack mount.
Yeah.
Or you can bring this disc that comes with the pop filter, unscrew it, bring it with you, and put it on any other gooseneck.
Perfect. And is this also washable in a washing machine?
It is washable.
Dishing machine?
Yeah. Yeah. So the cool thing about having this kind of metal mesh pop filters that the fabric pop filters don't give you is that, first, like you said, you can wash it. So you can go to a session, be safe, wash it. But also the design is the mesh is levered in a way where the air is not blocked. So fabric pop filters block the air, and you lose some high frequency content. Okay, that you put it back with your EQ, right? But these kind of pop filters, the air is deviating, it's going down. So it's not blocked, so you don't lose that high content. And so you don't have to EQ. You can be safe and,
That's perfect.
have your own pop filter in your pocket.
I really like that it's washable, because in Sweden we have problems with singers who use the Swedish tobacco snus. And it usually ends up on this.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll send you a couple of these.
So thank you so much for telling us both about the history of the studio and groove tubes, and now how you ended up with making this microphone. I really, really look forward to get an opportunity to try it out.
Yeah, we'll see. Once we have it, we'll make sure that you
Awesome.
get one. Okay.
So thank you so much for watching and staying to the end. If you want to see more videos, as usual, just subscribe and click the notification bell. And if you have any questions for Uri, you can leave comments below the video. And you can answer if you want to.
Of course.
Or I'll try to answer for him. Other than that, see you next time. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Cool. That was awesome. Thank you so much.